So, as curriculum specialist for the college, you are responsible for managing how curriculum data moves out from curriculum into other approval streams and into other processes. The two main processes or systems or deliverables are DataTel at the course level and the program level, as well as the college catalog for courses and programs. The thing is that doing this well and doing this efficiently, if we understand that the faculty's goal is to get the curriculum approved and available to students as soon as possible, and the scheduling process is that we want to update the DataTel system as swiftly and as cautiously as possible as to have no adverse effects on students and scheduling. We need to do this in a very important lockstep pattern to hit all available windows for doing things, submitting things, updating things, etc. So what I tried to do was give an overview, like an aerial perspective on a year in this role and what you will need to be mindful of that is happening concurrently that will ultimately come to affect the work that you do. Be it your counterpart, the instruction office technician who's currently Bella, the scheduling in the divisions, catalog production, which may be taking place between yourself and Jared Moss, the graphic designer, as well as Chancellor's Office approval and Board of Trustees activities. So this aerial overview, while you should, the caveat is that it's really been hastily built. It does give you a sense of how things flow and generate something that you move on to the next level. So here on the left, let me zoom out a little bit so you can actually see this in size. We go from May 2016 all the way over to June of 2017. And this little kind of spiderwebby looking thing actually shows the dates and how they move into other critical dates. When I had discussed this with Brian Sanders, he thought that you might be able to massage these dates, but I just clarified with him that these are not really massageable dates. These are basically deadlines and how content must move to hit those various deadlines. So on this line here, we have the agenda development phase. I'm going to delete that, it's kind of driving me bonkers. The agenda development phase on this line, and you see it's labeled here, curriculum agenda development posting. Currently, this is done by Bella's position. I'm not sure if Brian is going to proceed with that or have this role do that. I have developed plenty of agendas in my life, and I found that to be a very constructive process because it allows me to pay close attention to what is happening in the curriculum process. Having it in the other role sort of detaches me from understanding what's happening at the curriculum committee level, and I can do a lot more quality control at that level of the process. So we're not sure who's going to be doing this year. It may continue to be Bella, but these dots here represent the dates at which the agenda must be posted according to the Brown Act. Okay, so September 9th, September 16th, September 23rd. In order to comply with the Brown Act, which requires that we post agendas at least 3 business days before, 72 hours, I believe, the actual meeting at which the agenda will be discussed is built into this calendar. And then down on this line is the actual curriculum meeting dates. So this is a meeting date, this is a meeting date, this is a meeting date as well. Okay, the next plane down is the Board of Trustees report development and Vice President's review. What this means is that from the outcomes of the curriculum meetings, the approved actions of courses and programs that takes place there, we will then need to create the report to the Board of Trustees that this happened. This deadline I put here in between 2 fixed meeting dates, well, fixed dates. This is the curriculum meeting date, as well we have the president's deadline. The Board of Trustees has built a calendar that says, if you want something to appear on a certain board agenda, here is the deadline at which it must be submitted to your college president. So what I realized from this timeline is that 9/26 is that deadline on the district's calendar, and the meeting dates, these 2 meeting dates, need to be put into a board report submitted to your supervisor, Brian Sanders, by this date, maybe the 23rd, 24th, but giving him enough time to review it and comment for feedback in time so that he can turn it to his supervisor, the president, so that she can meet her own deadline from the district in order to appear on this district agenda. So the long and short of it is that between 9:26 and 10:12, the president reviews the report, sends it over to district, district compiles their agenda, and then posts it for a week or two for the Board of Trustees and the public to review. So what we learned from this process is that from the 10-12 meeting, timelines allow us to get the September 9th and September 16th meetings on the board report. After that board meeting, which is scheduled for October 12th, it is only after that date that you can go into the Chancellor's Office inventory and submit your applications. So what should be happening in this timeline with your workflow is that you should be prioritizing working with yourself or perhaps with Bella to get any proposals ready for submission. Courses, pretty straightforward. Programs, a lot more sophisticated. So we can talk about that later. Anyway, so this timeline shows how all those different things flow into board reports. So then September 23rd through, through October 14th, those meetings can make it to the 11/9 Board of Trustees meeting. And any proposals reviewed from that can't be submitted to the Chancellor's Office until 11/10. Because of the fact that the Chancellor's Office will not accept proposals until after the Board of Trustees approval date takes place. We run into a little challenge over here because we've got a lot of important meetings loaded up happening here that actually won't hit the board until December 15th. You'll also notice that this is the 2017-18 curriculum review. So all of this curriculum that's being reviewed right here and approved, the faculty is hopeful and anticipating will be approved and implemented for 2017-2018. As we move over, when we move into January, we see that the curriculum committee moves on to the next review cycle. So in essence, we've got a stop and a start taking place here. So over here, you're going to see probably less activity in terms of what's happening in curriculum, but you should be paying attention because it may be that there is something urgent that needs to go through as an exception for 2017-2018. So that is your aerial view of the curriculum review side of this calendar. The next video I do is going to be for how it flows into DataTel.